Hi guys, this is Sai Kumar Kurtivada. In this video, we will learn about building a browser extension with Angular 19. So for example, you know about these extensions which you use in Chrome, Safari and Firefox. In this video, I'll tell you how we can build that whole browser extension by using our Angular 19 application. So already I have created one set of Angular 19 project that is nothing but to-do list in my projects. So I'll provide the link in the description. Please check out that video for better understanding. Now what we'll do is the same project we'll try to convert into our extension. So I'm using an Angular 19 project. I will build a browser extension on top of that. So let me go into another slide. Here, let's talk about browser extension. Browser extension will have some major components. One is manifest file, content scripts, background scripts, pop-ups and their options. So now the first thing which is very important, without that we can't do anything, that is nothing but a manifest file. So whenever you have this manifest file in your build structure, it automatically checks the extension and also it will check the permission. I'll show you how the manifest file looks like. And also content scripts is something like scripts that are running in the context of web pages. So for example, you have a web page and if you want to run some special scripts on top of that specific web page, then you can use this content scripts. And the background scripts, if you want to handle some set of events and manage these extensions in the background, then you can use background scripts. Pop-ups and options is something like the user interface, how it looks like. So for example, you have an application, when you click on the top right of your extensions, it will open a pop-up and how it should look like. So all these features come together to create our browser extension. So first, let's talk about this manifest file. So let me go into our Visual Studio Code and first I'll create all our required files at the source level. So here inside this I'll create a new file called as manifest.json. It's a type of configuration file. So you can configure all your manifest structure over here which is required for this specific project. So what I will do is I'll get a boilerplate code and I'll paste here. So this is my manifest boilerplate JSON. So now this JSON will have all the different types of properties. Let's talk about their properties. So let me save this. You can give the version anything. Let me go with version 4, and we have something like to-do list. If you want to keep any other name, you can keep that name, and also we can give the version number. Let me go with 2.0.0. that will be our version of this extension. And now we have a description. You can provide all the descriptions which is required for your project and it should be relevant to your project. And also here we have some set of permissions. So these permissions will help us to access your browser storage and whether you want to go with this extension in all the tabs or only a specific tab. And if you are using any background services, you can use this background.js which we will be creating now. So let me create a file called as background.js. And inside this background.js, I'll not write any special scripts. Instead, what I'll do is I'll use this background script only for Chrome. So I'm writing some set of Chrome logics. Chrome.runtime.on installed.add listener. So I'm adding a listener. Once the extension is installed on the browser, this specific background.js will run. So let me show you console.log off. I'll go with this installation, something like extension installed. So I'm just intimating that whether my extension is installed or not by using this background.js. It will run in the background. If you want to write any specific background scripts, you can write in this specific file. And it is pointing to the background.js as a relative path. Hence, it will check for this background.js. Now we have something called as host permissions. So wherever I want to use this, so when you want to restrict to a specific URL of your browser, then you can specify that URL. Otherwise, we can give all underscore URLs, which internally takes all the URLs and also it works for all the URLs whatever we are using in our browser. And also there is something like action. So you can give some set of actions over here. In this, my default pop-up what I am giving is index.html. If you want to make any of that file, you can change that by using relative path or absolute path. So now I can go with content scripts. These are the external scripts which I want to use. So for example, if you have a JS which should run in the background, then you can use this JS and you can give the matching URL. If this URL exists, execute this JS, something like this. So you can create this content JS and use that. So for now, I'm just creating a file. I'm not using anything in that, but I'm just creating just for our understanding purpose. So let me write one console.log of content file and save this. Now we have all these three values. Now we have given index.html here, but we have src which will have all the values which is coming from our app.component.ts. But if you remember, whenever we build this application, we will be getting our index.html. So let me go into another terminal and let's build this in a production version. So ng build and hit enter. As I am using Angular 19, by default ng build will trigger the production build. So let me go into the dist. Inside the dist, we have something called as browser. So I want to maintain all this manifest, content and background JS inside this browser. So what I'll do is, this is my backup and let me copy this and put it over here, because the build will always be generated automatically. So there is no connection for these files in our Angular application. Hence, I'm just copying and pasting inside this. And also make sure you are using pre-rendered route JSON. Let me copy this and put it over here. Just to maintain all these specific browser related extension files are maintained inside this browser. So that's done from our side. So now we are ready with the manifest file and our browser is ready with our extension configuration. So it is very simple. Configure the manifest, configure content, configure background.js, and all these files you put inside your browser where you have all the production build files. So now let me go into the browser. How we can load this? Inside the browser, we have to load this extension. So to load this extension, not at a high level, that means not at a production level or a live, we can go with our development mode. So go to extension, that is Chrome extensions, and here you can enable this developer mode. These all are the extensions which already I have in my system, but now I want to load some set of extensions to check how they work. So for example, I have here a load unpacked value because I'm not packing the extension. I want to go with a unpacked extension, that means a testing extension. So let me click on this and now you can select the browser. So this is my browser and let me select this. Now your extension has loaded. Let me refresh this and reload and let me check the errors. So you have something like manifest version 4. So the maximum current supported manifest version is 3, but this is 4. So let me make that changes in my manifest file. So let me go into manifest.json and let me make this version to 3. So whenever there is a problem in that specific manifest file or any of the builds, you will be getting errors over here. So I have to delete this. Let me remove and again load the package over here. Now there is no errors. Now you have this specific my to-dos list, and also inspect views. You can use the service worker to inspect your views and it is generating a specific ID whenever load the unpacked extensions or packed extensions. I'll talk about the packed extensions later, but this is how you have imported your to-dos list. What I'll do is, this is installed directly in my extensions. So let me go here and click on this. You can see the extension called as to-do list. So let me click on this to-do list. Now the same application, whatever you are seeing over here, I'm able to see inside this extension. So let me go here, click on this extension. Now you have this to-do list. So let me use testing and hit enter. Now you can see the testing, and when I click this, it is done. And when I delete it, it is asking a pop-up. Let me hit S. Now it deleted. So let me add some more. Testing, testing 2 and testing 3. Hit this. So all these were available, even edit will work. So testing, update and save. You can see testing updated. So everything is working fine. But there is one problem in this extension. The problem is how you want to persist the data. In this case, it is not persisting the data. Let me click on this and again, let me open this extension. Now you see whole data whatever we have added before, it is not working. Why? Because whenever you open the extension, it reloads your application, something like this. So here also we are doing the same testing. When you click this, it has an underline, that means this task is done and I can delete this. So same functionality. But the problem here also is, when I use testing and refresh this, it will use the updated app components and it will load your application again. When it loads your application again, we are not using a database, we are not using any storage. So that's where the problem came here. Now what I'll do is, I'll update this to-dos list project to a way where we can store the data. So let me go into the code and let me go into app.component.ts. So when it has to update my database or a storage, as we are not using any databases, let me use the storage part. So here what I'll do is, once the user saves something, I want to store in my storage. So local storage dot set item of, I want to use something like list, and the list is something like json.stringify of, I want to store the data in a stringified format, so let me use to do list of, it's a signal based, so I'm storing the data. Let me copy the same thing, and now we have something like it is updating the to-do list. So whenever there is an update in the to-do list, we can do the storage value, and again whenever there is a delete in the to-do list, I want to update the storage value. And also whenever the user updates the to-do list, I have to update my to-do list in my local storage. So this will be updating all our to-do list. Or you can do one more thing is, you can listen to this to-do list, because it's a signal. You can write some effect and you can listen to that. When there is a change in the to-do list, you can set the values inside that particular to-do list. That is also one approach. Now I'm going with a simple approach. Wherever we are updating the to-do list, I'm just pushing that into our local storage. And once the user loads this extension, I want to use onInit function, which will retrieve the data from storage and it will update the signal called as to-do list. So let me go with onInit and let me use that lifecycle called as ng on init of, it will not return anything and it is void. So once the initialization is done, I want to get my value from the local storage. Const storage value is equal to local storage dot get item of, I want to give an item name and the item name is list. So now whenever there is an availability of this list, I want to convert into json dot parse of, again you can use this local storage dot list, else I can go with empty array. But I want to get a proper data over here before parsing. So how can I do that? I can write some set of conditions, or I can write directly with this storage value. If my storage value exists, then I have to use my const value is equal to json dot parse of storage value. So now you will be getting a storage value over here. For example, if you are getting this storage value, then I have to update this dot to do list dot set, or you can use dot set of value. So you are getting the storage value and updating in the list. If you don't get the storage value, you have to use empty array. So in that case, what I'll do is, I'll just use if my storage value exists, then I can parse this, else I want to store empty array. So this would be a simple format of using our list. So now let me save this. After doing these changes, let me update my build. So once you update your build, your previous manifest file will be deleted. You can check here, you don't have that manifest file. That is the reason I have created a backup over here. Let me copy all this backup code and go inside this browser and paste here. And also we got the pre-rendered routes. Let me pull into this, save this. Now let me go into the browser and extensions. So let me remove the extension already which we have, and let me load packed version and hit select. So now we are getting some error. Again it is telling that we are having a manifest version of 4. Why we are having that manifest version of 4? Because I have not updated in my backup file. Let me update here, and also let me update inside this as 3, and let me load that back. Go back, remove and remove. So now load unpacked version, select, and now it has loaded. So let me go here and refresh. Let me load that extension again. This time it should store the data. So testing, hit this, updated, hit this. Now let me close this and open this again. Now it will get the values from your storage. So already it is storing on your browser and you can get that specific values. Let me click this, and also if you want to edit updated value and hit this, now the updated value is there. Let me click here again, open the to-do list. Now you are able to see exactly the same. So whatever you have updated in a specific to-do list, you are able to see on the UI. And it is not only restricted to this page. If you go into another page and open the same extension, you will see the same values because we are storing at a global level. So that's how you can use your to-do list. So this is how we can create our own build structure, and that structure will be available on your extension. So this is very simple to understand. Now, for example, if you want to use the same thing on the live mode, that means if you want to buy something on the Chrome and put your extension on the Chrome, there is some process which should be followed, and that steps also I'll demonstrate in this video. So let me go to the slides, and here let me tell you all the steps to deploy the extension. So first is we have to go into the Chrome extensions. So you can go into the Chrome extensions over here, and inside these Chrome extensions you can load your package and make sure to save the generated PEM file. So for example, here inside this, let me remove this, and when I add this extension, it is asking your extension directory. When I hit this and select this, and then let me go into the private key optional. I don't have a private key. Let me click on pack. So whenever you click on the pack, there is some PEM file which is generated. So this PEM file will be generated in my local. So let me go into my local, and inside the browser you will be seeing a new file called as PEM file. So this is my PEM file. So this PEM file is a key whenever you want to upload into your live Chrome extension. So you have to save that specific PEM file. Go to your Chrome Web Store developer dashboard. So there is something called as a Chrome Web Store developer dashboard. You have to go there, something like Chrome Web Store developer dashboard, and this is our developer dashboard where you have to go into the developer dashboard. And once you click on this, it will ask you for the login. Once you log in, you can see all the options. By using a payment, you will see all the options. First thing is we have to pay one-time registration fee. So here inside the extension, inside the Chrome developer extensions, we have to pay one-time registration fee. Once you pay that, you will be able to upload your extensions. So now there will be an option called as add new item. You have to pick the new item, and all the browser whatever we are using here, this will become a zip file excluding this PEM file. We should not keep any of the PEM file for this browser. So now that browser should be zipped, and we have to upload that into the extensions of Chrome. And then it will ask you to fill some set of fields like name, description, and also if you want to provide any of the screenshots and icons, you can provide that. So let me show you one which is already existing. So here if I go with any of the extension, so let me go inside this, and if you click on the details, you can see the version number, and also we can see all the related images. If I go here and search for any of the extension, let me go with Chrome Notes, and this Chrome Notes has some set of images if you see here. So these images and the overview and whole description can be added by us by using all these options. So we can fill all the values and submit for the review. Now this will be on hold. It will not be live until Google reviews this. So once you submit for the review, it will be going into the Google team. Google team will check for the complaints and policies. If you are using any violated code or violated extensions, then that may be rejected. But once it is approved, then that extension you can find as live. That means you can search your extension here inside this extensions, and you can add that extension for any browser. It is not in a developer mode, it will be in a production mode. So that's how you can build your extensions in Chrome, and we can make our extensions live. So by using our existing Angular application itself, we can create our own extensions. And as per my knowledge, the payment fee is also very less. It's around $5 for the registration fee, and you have many options to add n number of extensions if you pay for one time. So that's how your extensions will work in Chrome, and that extensions can be used by anyone. So this is how you can create your own extension by using your Angular application. Hope this gave you a glance and clear understanding about how to build an extension using an existing Angular project in Angular 19. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section. Hope you like my explanation. If you like my video, like, share, subscribe to my channel for more updates. Signing off. Thank you.